It's Morning Becomes Eclectic at 89.9 KCRW. Our guests in studio this morning are Keane. Welcome back, guys. We just did a quick look. The first time you were here was almost 2 years ago, November of 2003. Last time was last June. And you guys have had a busy couple of years, haven't you? Tell us what's been going on, at least since the last time we saw you anyway.
Well, we've basically been travelling around the world and trying to get our music out there to as many people as will listen to it, which has kind of been crazy, you know, and the whole thing has sort of gathered momentum as we've gone on, and we're playing kind of bigger and better places each time, and there seem to be just these kind of enormous sort of outpourings of kind of emotion and sort of celebration at Keane shows that we've enjoyed over the last year or so. So things have been pretty great for us.
Have you been to anywhere that you never would have thought that you might end up? Played any places, venues or countries for that matter, that you know were particularly exciting for you?
Well, we just got back from Mexico City, which we played for the second time, actually, and that's a kind of a crazy place to go to. But when we first arrived there, the first time we went there, we were kind of met sort of Beatles style at the airport by all these kind of screaming fans, you know, and that sort of carried on through the rest of the day into the show, and it was it felt like being in a kind of sort of, you know, huge supergroup, which was very flattering, you know, just the kind of energy and enthusiasm and sort of, you know, passion for music that they have down there is something that's very special. So I think that's probably been one of my most memorable moments of the last couple of years, getting down to Mexico City.
You know, it's interesting sometimes when you talk to bands who've been on the road for a couple of years, they start to sound tired. It starts to become a little, I don't know, tiresome, I guess is the word. You know, doing the whole thing and getting out there and doing that. But you guys just seem so energized by it.
Yeah, I think we are. You know, I think while there are still people out there who are sort of, you know, either yet to know Keane or just kind of getting to know us, I think we're still very happy to be playing all these songs on from Hopes and Fears, and I think you know, we're incredibly proud of it as a record, and you know, I think people are still very willing to listen to us, and of course, you know, we're very happy to keep playing the songs. I mean, you know, the other thing, and as of course we're doing this morning, is new songs and a new record, which you know, is the other side of what we're doing at the moment, which is you know, being in the studio and working on new stuff. And I think that kind of has given us an extra kind of little bit of energy that's sort of keeping us going through all this, because you know, it's one of the most exciting things I think that we've done so far in this last couple of crazy years. I think is to have the chance to make yet another record, and you know, to work with new ideas and to try stuff out, and hopefully come up with something that really kind of blows people away.
So have you been recording the songs? Have you been taking like a week here, a week there while you've been on the road, and just going into a studio, booking time and starting to do new stuff?
Well, yeah, it's been a bit of a sort of hodgepodge so far, but we've done I don't know what we've done, which you can tell it's a confusing approach that we've had. But we've had a few weeks, and we've got a couple of weeks in New York City coming up, which we're very excited about.
Do you guys ride on the road?
Yeah, we try to.
I guess you have to if that's what you've been doing for the last couple of years.
Exactly. I mean, you know, yeah, we have been on the road, as Tom says. We've been on the road since you know, probably this time 2 years ago, really. So you know, all the songs for the new album have come out of you know, the back of a tour bus or whatever.
Sometimes he comes out of the back of the tour bus with a kind of pained expression, sort of grey-faced, but he's come up with some good stuff, and I think we're genuinely excited about the possibility of, you know, releasing a record, and well, certainly getting our teeth stuck into it, you know, over the next few months.
Now, how do you write as a band? Who is the main writer in the band?
Well, I guess that's been my job so far, but it's you know, I think
Tim we're talking to now, right?
But you know, I mean, the most thrilling thing, really, I think the whole point of being a band is the idea that once you take the kind of raw material of the song, and then you play it together, and you each try and take it off in a whole new direction. And I certainly find, I mean, you know, if you're ever unfortunate enough to hear any of my kind of raw demos, they're fairly hideous, and it's amazing how much.
With you singing, you mean? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just sort of hammering away and wading away, and you know, the great thing about being in this band is that you know, we can convert something that sounds terrible into something that actually ends up sounding really good.
I'm just remembering the first time we met, and Tim, you and Richard were talking about how you'd been doing stuff, and then you sort of came across Tom with this voice, and there were there were a couple of things you said. First of all, that you were just sort of completely gobsmacked and blown away by his voice, but also that if memory serves me correctly, and I hope I'm not rewriting history here, so tell me if I am. But also because he was a little bit younger, you could sort of boss him about a bit. Is that still happening?
That sounds about right. Yeah,
It does. Yeah.
I mean, we've known each other sort of 25 years or something. So when we first heard Tom's beautiful singing voice, it was probably about 3 octaves higher.
Yeah, I had a fixation with trying to be the new Freddie Mercury, you know, and it sounded quite painful at times. You know, when you're 10 years old, there's terrible footage of me somewhere singing in a bar in Paris when we went on a little school trip. With the three of us were there actually. When I was about 12 years old or something, and there's some appalling footage of me trying to murder Bohemian Rhapsody. So it didn't start out being a kind of ear-catching voice. You know, it's one of those things that sort of gradually sort of matured over the years and got a little bit better.
Well, maybe those guys should have given you a call. I don't know. They got Paul Rogers out on the road with them right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.